Hello YouTubers, this is Willicott53 and I'd like to talk to you today about the little project that I have that I'm going to show you, and the title of this video says it all: To the Demise of Pack Rats. I had a real problem with pack rats and I finally came up with a plan, a trap that quickly and efficiently kills pack rats. To date I have dispatched 72 pack rats using this system. It's pretty efficient. I rarely find a sprung trap without a dead rat in it. It's either a rat or a deer mouse, which is just as bad as pack rats, or one of the infrequent field mice from around here. I also have to tell you that if you don't do this exactly as I say it, you're going to be getting a lot of incidental kills, little birds that are curious about what's going on. And I've had a couple of snakes that were following in the scent of pack rats that also met their end with this trap. Also a skunk, which is a pretty good sized critter, and this system will dispatch them as well. So squirrels, pack rats, rats, mice, it'll take care of all of them. Anyway, if you will take a look at the tools that we're going to use today, let me adjust the camera again. This is what we're going to use to make our trap. It's common everyday stuff that you have at the house, easily picked up to use to make this trap. We have a pair of scissors, tape measure, we have a flathead screwdriver, box cutters, a pencil, and a pair of needle nose pliers, and duct tape. You can't do it without duct tape. And lastly, I used the Victor rat trap, not the little mouse trap. This is the large Victor rat trap, and it's for a purpose. You can buy knockoffs, but the knockoffs aren't going to have this very powerful system. These two springs are what makes this trap work. You can make this trap even more powerful, even more effective, by simply adding another piece of wood down here or lifting these ends of the spring up. But you really don't need it. This trap is fast enough, strong enough to dispatch pack rats. Those other ones that I used were not strong enough, and the pack rat occasionally was able to twist around inside of it. Didn't give it a good clean kill, and I don't like pack rats, but I don't want to make them suffer either. I just want to kill them. Anyway, I've already tried, for those who want to know, I've already tried live traps, have-a-heart traps, the spinning traps. I used the peanut butter on a spinning cylinder inside a bucket full of water. Nothing happened. 3 mice, that's what I got with those. This trap, though, the way I'm going to show you to do it, to make it, works each and every time. Now, these things are dangerous, so I already lost one finger thumbnail. It's already grown back, but you want to be careful around these things. So with the power these things have, they'll easily break a bone or make you lose a thumbnail like I did. So you first take off those two springs, and now you can play with this trigger all day long, this hammer, and nothing's going to happen. It's safe. What you need to do, and this is very important, what you need to do is convert this from a bait trap to a pressure plate. And what we're going to do is quite simple. I forgot to get my cardboard. Now, this cardboard, you can tell that by looking at it. It's the container that Ziploc boxes come in. Costco has this stuff. This is thick cardboard, very stiff cardboard, and it lasts quite a bit. If you use corrugated cardboard, you can see the ends have corrugations in them. Don't use that. They don't work. This is the stuff that works. Paper plates, when they're kind of stiff, they work as well. Anyway, what we're going to do first is we're going to change this from a bait trap to a trigger, and we're going to make it a pressure plate. And what we do, you first straighten out that little hook for the bait. You make it stand straight up, and that's pretty sharp, so be careful when you do this. You need to take your cardboard and you need to make a template with the trap. Use the trap as a template, and you'll notice you want to give it a little bit more than the end of it. The thickness of the end of it, that's what you need. So we're gonna work on that right there. And if you notice back here, you want to cut a little bit of an index so that this little piece right here, it'll cut into it and keep it from just waggling around. So we're gonna do it to about right. You can just eyeball it. It's not rocket science. Right there. So that is going to be our pressure plate. Take your skizzers. Cut out your pressure plate. Now you measure this. This is how it's going to fit. If you make it wider than this is already, it's a little bit too wide. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit. You don't want to make it wider than the trap, because the second part of this is a box, and if it touches the sides, wham, you're going to spring it every time that you try to put it inside the box. So you want to measure it so that that little blade right there on the top, put a little mark right there, and then just cut a little bit of like an 1/8 of an inch slot in there. That's all it takes. Slip it onto that slot, and now keeping this bait trigger down here straight, just push that cardboard down right on top of it. Now if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. The rats aren't rocket scientists either, and they don't mind. Now you put a little hook on the end of this blade, and then you mash it down, and voila, you've got a pressure plate. Now the end of it, you want to fold it over. Fold that over, and this is an important part of the process, and I'll show you why later. Fold it over so that it's like that, alright? Now we just slip these springs back over on top, and I'll show you how this works. Once we put these springs back on this hammer, it's dangerous again, so be very careful. Don't nobody get hurt. Alright? So now we bring that trap back, we set it, and there you have it. Now the reason you have this pressure plate set up that way is because the pack rat, and I couldn't get a pack rat to come over here and give its life for the purpose of this video, so I made a little template. This is the pack rat. This is about their size. You can see it compared to the size of the trap. I've got some pictures. If I can upload them, I'll upload them onto this video. But when the pack rat comes up, he's going to be seeing bait which is above in the ceiling of the box, and when he comes up to step on it, he's going to, you see where it hit? Right across the head. It's an instant kill, it's quick, it's merciful, it doesn't suffer. It'll either get it on the head or just behind the head, and it comes with enough smack that it'll take this animal out quickly. Alright? So there's half of our plan. The other plan now is a box. Now you can see the box that I have. Any box that measures 4 inches by 9 inches is plenty big enough. It can be a little bit bigger, but don't make it wider than the trap, because you might find the rat goes around the side of it. So 4 inches by 9 inches is perfect. This is one of those little variety canine mules. We have 6 Chihuahuas and they love this stuff. Anyway, what you're going to do is you are going to, and I'll do this quickly, you're going to create a window right here, and don't worry about it whether it's upside down or right side up. The pack rat can't read. I don't think they can read. Anyway, you cut a little doorway into it, but not a very big doorway. I would, originally I took out the whole end of the box, and it did catch rats, but it also caught little birds and stuff, and I felt kind of poorly about that. So you have this doorway. That's big enough for the pack rat to get in and fall to this trap. Now, you need to cover all of these seams, because if that pack rat can smell the peanut butter coming out, it will eat the box right there where that smell is coming from, And you don't want them to do that. You want them to go inside the box. So I'm just going to tape these seams up, and I already cut these pieces of tape so that we can get along quickly, because I've got a time limit on this video. You have to cover both the front and the back. When I first started doing this, I didn't do this, and the pack rats ate the cardboard right at the seams. This way you can make sure that those pack rats go inside like they're supposed to and meet their little end inside the box quickly. Alright? It takes 5 or 6 little strips of duct tape. We know we can't do anything without duct tape. And it doesn't take very long to make these boxes, as you can tell. It moves pretty fast once you get started. There you have your trap. Now this will slide inside there, and it's just inside the opening. I don't know if you can see it from the light, but it's just inside the opening, so the pack rat is going to get inside and see the bait that's going to be on the roof and inside back here, and it's going to be quickly dispatched. Now, what I use for bait is plain old peanut butter. And I have this big Costco peanut butter. It works great, works just fine. And I've got written on the top rat bait and rat bait on the front. We don't have kids in the house anymore, so it's just me and the wife, and if she sees rat bait, she says, ugh, and doesn't touch it. And I have this little spatula. It's one of those long wooden with a soft rubber, and I accidentally cut it this way one time, and I showed it to my wife and apologized, and she said, that's all right, I can still use it. So I accidentally cut the other side too, and then took it back to her, and she says, well, I don't want it anymore. So this is perfect for applying peanut butter. And all you do is get a little bit of peanut butter, not very much, and now just apply it in a smear at the top back of the box. It doesn't have to be a lot. I already knew this stuff. You can't see it, but it's in the top now. The rat will come and smell that peanut butter, and it smells heavenly to him. So you take your trap, you set your trap, watch your hands, you set your trap, and now you slide it right inside the box. You can see why it's important that the size of that pressure plate not be wider than the trap, and it just slides into the back. And now when that rat comes in, what happened to my rat? Now when that rat comes in, he knows that there's no bait on the trap. If you get any bait on the trap, you got to stop and get rid of it. But he's going to see and smell that bait that's in the back, and he wants that peanut butter, and he's going to come in and he's going to press on that pressure plate, and one dead rat. That's it, YouTubers. Give this trap a try. I'm sure if you want to stop all that damage that's being done to your house and your car, this trap works. To date, like I said, 72 pack rats. A whole bunch of deer mice, they're just as bad as pack rats, and a few field mice. Give this trap a try. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Alright? So long. Good luck. This is Willicott 53.